Donald Trump was asked a made-up question. Nobody's talking about abortion in this campaign. Do you realize that? Nobody's talking about abortion. Nobody is talking about abortion during this presidential primary campaign. Nobody. It is not an issue. But now all of a sudden, it is a humongous issue? Really? How is that possible? Nobody's talking about it. How is it such a huge issue? So let me see. So, hey, Mr. Trump. So, well, for, craps and giggles here, abortion's illegal. Should women be punished for having an abortion? Well, hello? It's illegal. I mean, it's obviously it's not illegal, but under this scenario, what you're saying is that abortion is illegal and somebody commits a crime. In other words, abortion becomes a crime. So you commit a crime and you're not expecting anybody to be punished for the crime? Oh, but you know what? This is pretty typical of the left because, hey, we have illegal immigrants, right? Now, that's illegal to come across the border illegally, but they don't want us to punish that criminality. They don't want us to punish that crime. Hey, it's a crime to come into this country illegally. You need to be punished. Well, Trump said, well, if it's illegal, basically what Trump is saying, if it's illegal, then there's the law. Obviously, person who's broken the law needs to be punished. And so now you got a bunch of people running around saying, Trump, look at Trump. Trump's going to punish women for having an abortion. That's not what he said. He didn't say he was going to punish women for having. At first, he can't. He can only enforce existing laws. He can't make up his own. Well, Obama's been able to make up his own laws on a few occasions, but generally speaking, the president can't make up his own laws. Can't. So Congress has got to pass to write a law and pass a law and then send it to his desk and he's got to sign it. But other than that, he can't. Then he can enforce it, but he can't make up his own law. Oh no, I'm going to punish you for having an abortion because abortion should be illegal. Made up stuff. Yet you got Bernie Sanders pointing out actual real life, not hypothetical facts about Hillary Clinton, and the lamestream media is like, boring, not interested. Now, of course, if it were the other way around, the media would be, if it were Bernie Sanders taking all that money and not Hillary Clinton, it would be the other way around. And the lamestream media would be all over the Bernster for taking money and kickbacks. Mr. Sanders, is it a bribe to take this money? They'd be asking all kinds of questions like that. If it were Trump taking the money, Mr. Trump, Mr. Sanders, don't you think it's paying for influence? You think they're buying your influence by donating money to your campaign? Do you think it's a bribe to take money from somebody like this, Mr. Trump, Mr. Sanders? Is it a bribe? Bribe? You being bribed? Are you being bribed, sir? Are you going to quid pro quo? Are you going to pay back this donation or this gift with political favors, Mr. Trump or Mr. Sanders? Just, this is what they're kind of doing to people that they don't like. Media doesn't like Trump. So this is what they do. Hey, Mr. Trump, you're going to punish women for having an abortion? That's not what he said. But that's what they're saying that Trump said. And then you got idiots like, people like Cruz running around out there. And look, I know some of you cruisers are saying, you hate Cruz? How could you hate it? No, look, I've called Trump an idiot too. I call them all idiots. Trump has done and said things I don't like as well as Cruz has. It's no different. I'm just pointing out the stupidity of look, I know that, Cruz wants to be president so bad. He's getting so close. He's, now he's ahead in Wisconsin. Some polls have him ahead in Wisconsin by as many as 10 points. You know, he can taste the victory so bad, but I'm telling you right now that if Trump doesn't get to 1237 for the nomination, none of these guys that are currently running, including Kasich, are going to be the nominee for president on the Republican ticket. Just telling you that right now. Some people are saying that that's not, they can't do that. Rod, they don't realize what's going to happen. Man, it's going to be the death of the party. The people are going to walk out, and Sean Hannity's even going to lead the march out of the hall and blah. Those people inside the Beltway do not care. I've come to that conclusion. They do not. The only thing that we can do to these people is just defeat them, because otherwise they do not care. They are so blinded by their own self-importance and their own power. They do not care what you think. They do not care what you're going to do. As a matter of fact, they'll go so far as to say, probably. Let me give you an example. They'll go so far as to say that tree on your property, you don't own it. We own it. We'll tell you when you can trim it and cut it and water it and all that kind of stuff. You don't own that tree on your property. So this is what they're saying with the GOP is saying about the Republican Party. No, you the voter, you don't own the party. Party's not about you. Party's about us. So if you think that they're just going to, that you're just going to be able to persuade them to not do things that you don't want them to do simply because you're going to threaten them, they don't care. Understand that now. They do not care. So, frankly, you shouldn't care either. You should just say, I've had enough, and just do it. And if you're going to walk out anyway. If you're going to leave the party, leave the party. Because, frankly, they don't care. I know it's sad to say, but the reality is that those in power do not care what you think or what you say. And I know some people are saying, well, we got to make them care. No, you really can't. You can't. Even if a good majority of the rank and file of the Republican Party just walks out and leaves the Republican Party. Let me tell you what the reaction of the insiders are going to be. The insiders are going to be, oh, you're just a bunch of Tea Party rabble-rousers. And when the Republican Party goes down, they're going to blame you. Not care a damn thing about what you say. They're going to stick to what they think. That's just really the way it is. By the way, there's a lot of you remember the girl at a Trump rally? I guess she's a girl. I learned later she's 15. She's a big girl, but I guess she was only 15 years old. But there were stories on if you listened or paid attention to those on the left, and I did. They were upset that they were saying that this girl had been groped and manhandled and all kinds of stuff, and of course I had to put in some reason. I said, no, it's alleged. No, that guy did it. Really? No, there is no. I have not seen any video of anybody grabbing or pushing that girl in the chest like she claims, touching her chest. And the man that she accused of doing so, he denied it. And these people on the left saying that she's got every right to confront whoever touched her. Like, well, in that type of a crowd, in that type of situation where people are getting, obviously you can look and see where people are getting pushed and shoved and they're in close quarters and they're pushing and shoving and bumping and all that kind of stuff. It is highly possible that somebody did elbow her or push her and did so in the chest, thus giving her this thing, belief that, somebody touched her and groped her. But the point, you don't see it on camera. I'm not saying that it didn't happen. I'm saying it's her. I've had even somebody tell me that, well, when you have an accuser and accused, you always believe the accuser. Like, since when? I didn't realize that was taught in law. Is that statutory law? The accuser is always telling the truth and is always to be believed? So, I didn't see any stories anywhere, any video anywhere that showed anybody, pushing or touching that girl in her chest. But what I did see, and what's very clear, is that you couldn't see if she actually hit him or touched him, but she did attempt to try to take a punch or a swipe at somebody that was slightly off camera. And the reaction from somebody in the crowd, off camera again, was to spray mace on her, to get her to retreat and leave, because evidently she was in the middle of a bunch of, her and only a couple other people were in the midst of a bunch of Trump supporters, and nobody touched them. Well, but so that's the story. You have all these people, on the left saying, yeah, they should arrest this guy. Look what Trump is fostering. And it wasn't Trump. And I even asked people, have you watched the whole video? No, I don't need to. Well, yeah, you do. You need to watch the whole thing. I already saw what I needed to saw. They pepper sprayed a 15-year-old girl. I said, first of all, I didn't know she was 15. I'm sure they didn't probably think she was 15 at first either. That's a big girl. She didn't look 15. And did you see what she did to get pepper sprayed in the face? No, it doesn't matter. Well, yeah, it does matter. It matters big time. Speaking of mattering, WND is reporting that college kids are demanding abortion clinics on campuses. Quote here is, it's important for students to do well academically. In other words, don't be worried about being pregnant. Students at the University of California, Berkeley are demanding an abortion clinic on campus despite having multiple facilities less than 10 miles away. Oh, we have to drive or walk off campus in order to get our voluntary birth control operations. Now, Student Center Anchal, Anchal, Chugh, Chugh. Her proposal for an on-campus abortion clinic was unanimously passed by the student government earlier this month. But she is now dealing with skeptical administrators. They're even considering this garbage. The University of California, folks. Yeah. Unanimous passage of the student government. Yeah, let's get a student government sponsored, paid for, whatever, abortion clinic on campus, so students don't have to be embarrassed by going off campus to get their abortion stuff. I mean, this is just it's insanity. Yes, it's pure insanity. It's just evil. Now, nearby options for students seeking abortions include 2 Planned Parenthood facilities, which are 3.5 miles and 6.5 miles away, respectively. So they can't even go less than 4 miles. They can't even go that distance. They got to have one right on campus, and of course they're going to want somebody else to pay for it too, right? Hey, they're going to be walking in. Can I get me some abortion drugs, and can I get me an abortion here, please? Yeah, thank you. A la Al Gore. Anyway, that sound means that we are out of time for today, but not only for today, but for the week. So we'll be back here on Monday, hopefully with all our call-in and sound issues fixed. Skype, do you hear that? Skype, hear that? Until then, have a great weekend, folks. I'll be back. I'm Rod Eccles. This has been the Rod Eccles Show. I'm out.